Mini-restorative practice, we need a lot of props. So if you want to take a moment to grab some pillows, blankets, I'll show you some of mine. This is a yoga bolster. This is awesome. This one's made by Hugger Mugger, but you can get them anywhere. They're great. I think my favorite of all restorative yoga tools is an eye pillow. This one is filled with lavender, and the pillow itself is silk. It smells really good. It feels really good on my eyes. Not everybody likes that. So if you don't like pressure on your face, don't use an eye pillow. But maybe if you do have one, this is a great time to try it. And then also, or have something to cover your eyes with if you like your eyes, your face covered. I also have a couple of, these are round meditation cushions. I like them for restorative because they're filled with husks. I forget which plant, but they're all natural inside. So they kind of have a beanbag feel. So you can push on them. They're a little bit more manipulative. A blanket is really nice. Towels rolled up. So if you take a normal bath towel, fold it in half and then roll it up, that can be used instead of a bolster, and maybe some hand towels the same. And when I say prop up, we want to prop up everything. So any pose that we're in, if I'm in child's pose and there's gaps underneath me, we want to try to fill all space so that no part of our body is actually working to hold ourselves up, and that we can truly just rest and relax into that pose. And then the other one that I have that's really different that in restorative I find is super useful. This is a different type of meditation cushion. It's U-shaped. It's also husk-filled. It's super bendy and flexible, but I love to use it when we're in poses that we're face down under my forehead, and then my face has a space to breathe, and then I can use the outer part to rest my arms. So those are my restorative yoga tools. Feel free to take a moment and go find what you need to build. We're building a little nest for ourselves. And there's also this month in Yoga Journal, and I'll share with you the article. There's a great article on how restorative yoga can help heal racial trauma. So it's just restorative yoga is a really powerful practice. It's very hard for some people because we're in poses for so long, and that's why we're propping up as much as we are, because we really want the muscles to relax. So if you find at any time that you're feeling the need to move, or just I can't be in this pose any longer, feel free to move. Come back to child's pose or come back to somewhere else. But just know before we get started that this practice is a little bit longer than we're in poses for a little bit longer. The goal is to rest and restore. So with that, I am starting with a quote. I'm starting with a quote by Eleanor Brown. Rest and self-care are so important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others from the overflow. You cannot serve from an empty vessel. I love this because it's true. We can't serve. If we are giving all the time in every way possible, we can't possibly have anything left to give, right? So rest and restoring is really important to refill our sugar cup so that we have more to give, more love, more whatever, time, patience, all of the things. And there is a fair amount of science on rest. Rest is different than sleep, and we should have 20 minutes of rest a day. So if any one of these poses feel good, right now, especially when we're undergoing this collective traumas, give yourself permission to spend 20 minutes a day in one of these poses. Put on something really chill. For setting the scene, the playlist today is based off of Marconi Union, who it's called Weightless is the album, and it has no lyrics, and it's quiet, soothing sounds. Smell is pretty important for rest. If you have essential oils, this is a great time to use something really calming for you. So maybe lavender or something, some people are calmed by different things. So some people love peppermint. Some people find peppermint very energizing. Other people find it very relaxing. So those are some good ones to help bring everything down. So that being said, we're going to start today in child's pose, and we want to prop ourselves up into child's pose. So normally We're pressing our heels down into our hips into our heels. For child's pose today, I like to find something to straddle. I'm going to use my yoga bolster, but if there is something else like a block or a pillow folded in half that you could actually put in between the legs for class. Puppy, it's time for you to move off my yoga mat. Sorry, my friend. So I'm putting this back in between my feet so I can sit on it. And then I think I'm going to use this pillow for my head. And you'll see the idea is, the idea is to really get rid of all space. So I have a lot of space down here. I might throw one of these other pillows in so that I can be fully supported everywhere. And I think for me, it's going to feel good to turn my palms up and put them under this pillow. I like having the weight of the pillow rest on my hands. It'll help let my hands relax rather than make them think they have something to do. So finding our version of a restorative child's pose, our first few poses that we get into today, I'm going to do a little bit of reading. And then as we get deeper into the class, I'll back off on the reading. So we're finding our restorative pose, taking some deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And throughout this class, we want to keep our eyes either gaze lowered or closed as much as possible so that we have less stimulation. So we're closing our eyes, coming into our breath, taking some deep, focused breaths. The readings I'm doing today are by Melody Beatty from her book, Journey to the Heart. Love yourself enough to relax. Our bodies react to the world around us and within us in so many ways. Our bodies act like sponges. They can soak up healing energy, or they can absorb and trap negative energy of stress and tension. Some of us are so used to keeping our bodies tense and bound up, we don't even notice how much they hurt, how strained and tight our muscles are. Connect with your body. Learn to tell how tense it is. Take a few moments throughout the day to see what hurts, what aches, what muscles are being strained. Although tension can affect the entire body, many of us have favorite places in our body to store stress, places that usually become tense, rigid, and full of aches. Necks, shoulders, lower backs are favorite traps. Become familiar with your body and where it stores stress and tension. Then learn to relax. Explore different options. Therapeutic massage, self-hypnosis, meditation, yoga, soaking in a hot bath, sitting in a steam room, exercise, visualization, taking time and activities that bring you pleasure and help you restore. If you explore the effort to explore relaxation techniques, you will find ways to relax that you like and can afford. If you've been soaking up too much stress, give yourself a break. Let your body start soaking up some healing energy too. Love yourself enough to help your body relax. So thinking about where we can relax as we're in child's pose, finding some deep breaths and sending some release to the areas where we feel any tension, where we're feeling any tightness. Noticing our breath and our tensions and seeing if we can breathe into those spaces and release a little bit of that tension. And maybe it feels good to rock a little bit side to side wherever we're at. Noticing how we're feeling. How is our emotional state? And letting go. Letting go of our expectations. Letting go of competition. Today we're competing with no one. We're just trying to restore and rest and let go of all of those things. Letting go of our judgment. And giving ourselves permission to just be in this present moment. And our thoughts can wander from subject to subject. And if we notice that we're wandering, just coming back to the breath and noticing our breath, how we're feeling. Gently making small micro movements with our fingers and our toes and beginning to have some awareness. And we're going to start to make our shift into our next pose, which is a restorative crocodile. So for this pose, I like to have a bolster under my ankles. I like my little U-shaped pillow up on my head. These little cushions off to the side are pretty nice for my arms. So we're going to come onto our belly and find a space that feels comfortable. Maybe our arms are overhead, maybe they're to the side. So when they're to the side, my shoulders are up, so I'd want to put something kind of under my shoulders to prop them up so that they're not holding themselves up. And seeing if we can find a space where we can just melt into the floor. Relaxing. Grabbing a blanket if we need to. Coming back to center. Come back to center. The place in you that is still, calm, quiet, and connected. Your center is a place you can trust. It connects the body, mind, heart, and soul. It connects truth, your inner voice, and the divine. Your best work comes from there. Your most loving times come from there. Your insights, awareness, and guidance come from being there at that place. Your best decisions and finest moments come from that place. Your center is a great place that is quietly confident, unassuming, spontaneous, and free. It is gentle and kind, but it has the power to defend instinctively against attack. Your center is a place that is naturally joyful and at peace. It is accepting, non-judgmental, and it channels the voice of your heart. It knows perfect timing. It knows the rhythm of the universe, the rhythm of all creation, and it delights in its connection to that rhythm. If you must leave your center to learn a lesson, feel a feeling, or experience something new, do that. Take all the side trips you are called to, but come back to your center when you're done. And go to your center first before you go anywhere else. Slowly bringing awareness back into our body. Wiggling our fingers and our toes. And maybe pressing back to child's pose for a moment just to give a little stretch to our back. We're going to move to a side laying position. So we have some choices. We could either be on our side or we could find a twist. So some options, if we are side laying, finding a pillow or something to support our leg. Sorry, puppy, you need to move. Thank you. So I'm going to put a pillow under my head, and then I have this bolster for my leg, and this arm's kind of flapping around, so I'm going to put this pillow underneath it. So everything is pretty supported here. So this is one option. We could stay right here and also add a twist back and open our shoulders. So maybe putting another pillow behind us. And if I'm open that way, I need my support behind me. So either finding a twist or a sideline. So either one, maybe playing with both, seeing if the twist feels good. Twists are really good. They're helping open and release a lot of tension in our core. But if that doesn't feel good and we don't think we can stay there for a while, we can always stay on our side, or maybe start open, and then when we just are ready, letting that shift happen over. So again, settling into this pose, releasing our tensions. Relax. Too often, out of sheer habit, we tighten up, tense up, and then approach life from that stance. When we have something to do, our automatic response may be to tense up. Shoulders and neck strained, back bent and cramped, breathing shallow. But anything that needs to be done can be done better if we're relaxed. Learn to relax. Program your body, each part of it, to let go and be at ease. Allow yourself to come into your natural posture and alignment. Learn to relax into moving, acting, speaking, being. All come from naturally and relaxed places. Finding activities to help us do these things. Teach yourself to become more aware of how your body feels during relaxing activities. Memorize that feeling. Practice relaxing until you can recall that memory and carry it throughout your day. Periodically throughout the day, taking a few moments to check our tension levels. If you find any part of your body tense, take a few moments to consciously relax that part. Visualize warmth and ease flooding any part of your body that has become tight or is in pain. Let the tension, the stress, the blocks drain out from top to bottom. Your body wants to stress. It wants to become uncomfortable. It wants to heal itself. Empty your mind of these tense thoughts and let it follow your body into relaxation and calm. Allow your mind to become still. Quietly accept each thought, then release it. Breathe in comforting, healing energy. Breathe it into your mind, into each cell of your body. Breathe out stress, strain, discomfort, and fear. Don't resist what you are feeling or thinking. Accept it, then release it. Just as water cannot pass through a pinched hose, your vital life force cannot flow freely through you if you are cramped and tense. Honor the life force that is within you, that flows through you. Honor it by relaxing, opening to it, and inviting it to surge through your body. The techniques of relaxation will refresh, restore, and recharge you so that you can do all you need to do with more power and vigor than before. Anything that needs to be done can be done better if you're relaxed. Slowly bringing awareness back into our fingers and toes. And then we're just making our way onto the opposite side. So slowly turning onto our other side. If we started in a twist on one side, finding that same twist on the opposite side. Reading from Eckhart Tolle. Is stillness just the absence of noise and content? No, it is intelligence itself, the underlying consciousness out of which every form is born. And could that be separate from who you are? It is the essence of all galaxies and blades of grass, of all flowers, trees, birds, and other forms. Stillness is our essential nature. When you lose touch with inner stillness, you lose touch with yourself. When you lose touch with yourself, you lose yourself in the world. Slowly bringing awareness back into our fingers and our toes. Making some micro movements. And taking our time, we're going to roll onto our back and come into a restorative bridge. So in restorative bridge, we're on our back and we have something underneath our hips. I'm using one of these bean bags, but if you have a block, you could use a block. Anything that's going to raise the hips a little bit comfortably. And let the knees come together, that the arms fall out wide. So finding the place for the bridge that feels good and is restored. The other place we could go if this doesn't feel very good is we could go to legs up the wall using a couch and bringing our feet up and letting our body rest this way. Maybe we want a pillow underneath our head. So either one of those or up against a wall itself. Maybe put some props on either side of the legs so they don't fall open. Or you could use a strap to hold the legs an equal distance apart so they are not working. Finding this restorative bridge or legs up the wall pose. Breathing in, exhaling out, coming back into our deep breath, deep into the lungs. When you become aware of silence, immediately there's a state of inner still alertness. You are present. You have stepped out of 1,000 years of collective conditioning. Slowly bringing awareness back into our space. We have one last pose for final relaxation, Shavasana. If we're really comfy where we're at, we can stay there. We don't need to move unless we want to move. For final relaxation in a restorative sense, we're putting something underneath our knees, maybe something under our head, maybe something over our eyes, maybe even something under our feet. Like my feet are dangling, so I might choose to put a pillow under my feet and let them rest there. Cover ourselves with a blanket if it feels good. Close our eyes. Melting into this restful, restorative space. Gently moving our fingers and our toes. And starting to bring awareness back into the body. Taking our time to make some small movements. And when we're ready, rolling onto one side. Making our way back up, finding an easy seated position. Coming back to the quote we started with class from Eleanor Brown. Rest and self-care are so important. When you take time to replenish your spirit, it allows you to serve others from the overflow. You cannot serve from an empty vessel. Sitting tall, stacking our shoulders and vertebrae, maybe rolling a few times forward and backwards. Taking a big breath in. Exhaling as we come to center, filling our heart with some rest and self-care. I hope our vessels are a little more full today. Thank you for sharing a restorative practice with me.